Welcome back, everyone, to the Wrestling Rundown. I'm Stephen Mazza. I'm here with CJ Cherno. And it's been a while. It's been, what, a couple months, few months, Cherno?
Couple months,
Yeah.
couple weeks, couple days, who knows?
But we're getting right into it. Today, we're going to be focusing on the Elimination Chamber, on do we like the participants? Who do we think is going to win? How's it going to affect WrestleMania? Who's going to face off against Cody Rhodes? I'm very excited. This is honestly going to be one of the biggest rosters in the chamber, I feel
Yep.
like, where they just did this with the Rumble. It's been one of the most stacked Rumbles in a long time. So now they're doing the same thing with the Elimination Chamber, which I really like because they're finally utilizing all these guys they have, right?
Yep. It's an all-star cast, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen a chamber this stacked before, so I'm excited. And you don't know who's going to win the chamber.
Yeah.
You have an idea, but let's see.
So who's in the chamber? It's CM Punk, John Cena, who didn't have to qualify. Everyone else here had to qualify besides John Cena, which we'll talk about that. Damian Priest, which I was kind of surprised a little bit. Seth Rollins, who just won this past Monday.
Yeah.
He just qualified. He beat Finn Balor. Logan Paul.
Why that guy like that?
Logan Paul, who was in it last year, who was he was third. He was third, and then he attacked Randy Orton when Orton eliminated him, and he got him back, and that started a whole feud with Mania. We know who knows if Paul. I don't think Paul's going to win, but when he does, if that's going to affect who's he going to be fighting at Mania, someone in that chamber. And yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Drew McIntyre is also in it, who is someone who I really liked. I think Drew McIntyre had one of the best years.
Yep.
So, and Priest eliminated Drew. I don't know if they're going to make that a whole feud going on, but
I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't really want it either. But yeah, let's talk about it in the chamber. I'm not missing anyone else, right?
Nope, that's it.
No,
also, the women's chamber as well.
And the women's chamber. Yeah, we'll focus more on the men's chamber, and then we could jump to women's. I'm very excited, like we just said, because this is like you said, all-star caliber roster right here in the chamber.
And Damian Priest.
And Damian Priest. Oh, I mean, he's a former champion, though. It's not like he's not. He just didn't. He hasn't
connected well with.
Yeah,
fans.
he's there. He's not on the level as
the other participants in that chamber.
No, I think it's going to be really cool. Do you think that it should have been someone else?
I thought it should have been Roman because there's a storyline there with Seth and CM Punk, whichever way they goes, because I don't want that triple threat match. They've been rumoring. I don't like it.
You think Roman's gonna
be in the chamber to interfere between the two? I don't know, because I don't think that's his style, but because he's on a part-time basis, I don't think he's gonna be in the chamber. But I think this chamber is gonna, like, these 6 competitors, literally there's 3, like, except for the winner, there's literally 2 or 3 matches that can come out from this chamber with the potential feuds that could come out of it. You could do Priest and McIntyre, Punk and Rollins, depending on who wins, Cena and Paul, if you want to do that. It's just
hopefully not.
I don't mind it.
No, I do. Just because I think that Cena needs his last WrestleMania match with a belt.
You think he should win?
I don't think that. I'm not saying that he should win, but he definitely needs a belt. And I don't.
Yeah.
I think it would be phenomenal if he did win because it's John Cena, and if you guys don't know, John Cena is tied with Ric Flair for 16 belts.
Tied.
Yeah. But like legit, actually, he has 16. Not like Ric Flair won it in 3 different companies.
He technically has the record for most championships with WWE.
Yeah, but like this is like what they've been pushing since Cena, because Cena hasn't won a belt since 2017, when he beat AJ Styles at the Rumble. 2017 at the Rumble. That was a fantastic match. That was a great match. And Cena qualified by just saying, "I'm John Cena, and I'm gonna go into the Elimination Chamber and win." And I like that.
I like that. It's giving that layer to John Cena in that he's getting his confidence back, because remember, he's been playing up like he hasn't won a match in forever.
No, he hasn't won a match in forever.
And he's just trying to play up to that confidence. And now he realizes when he was top 2 in the Rumble, if in the press conference, he said, "Now I have my confidence back. Now I know I can actually do this for real." And he's like, "I'm going to qualify for the Rumble. I don't care what anybody says. I'm John Cena." And he should walk around like that. He's John Cena. And this could play into, potentially if he wins, this could play into him with Cody as well, because I feel like that's good trade of barbs and stuff stuff like that with Cody, and that would be great for WrestleMania as a main event for night 2.
I think that, well, one, I love how Punk called him out
Yeah,
on the past couple Raws and his promos, saying like, "Hey, like,
face off.
I'm not going to do what he's doing. I'm going to qualify." I think that's fantastic because we've been waiting for. I think that's Cena's second best rival ever in CM Punk.
Mhm.
I think Orton is number one. I am upset that Orton's not in the Rumble. You could argue that Orton could
He's
take
gonna he's good.
Priest's spot.
Yeah, he could, but he's gonna interfere in that KO and Sammy match
Maybe, yeah.
because you have to still do Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at
Mhm.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see a type of, the passion that Orton brings to the ring
Mhm.
because he's always I think he's one of those guys that gets better and better.
Yeah.
Even if you look at shape, he's like in the best shape he's ever been in. He's
Mm.
he's huge. I think they're saving that Orton Cena run.
Towards like later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't be shocked if Cena. I believe Cena's going to win this chamber,
Mhm. That's my pick
and
too.
but I don't know because at the same time, Triple H has been doing a fantastic job on fooling us.
Yeah.
Like perfect example, Royal Rumble.
Yep.
I don't think anyone in the world thought Jey Uso was going to win that,
Mhm.
but they pulled the trigger, and I'm actually one of the people who are happy they pulled the trigger.
I'm happy too because I feel like the Rock situation was the one that threw a wrench in people's plans, and it was like, okay, since the Rock's not going to be here, we need to have somebody win the Rumble, and Jay was the best option to win the Rumble if there was no Rock, and I really love that for Jay. But we could talk about the Royal Rumble later, but let's talk more about the Chamber. With the Chamber, as I feel like John Cena should win it, but I wouldn't be mad if Punk wins either because regardless, anyway, they're both going to be great feuds for Cody building up to Mania, and it's those two guys are all time legends.
Yeah, no, the reason why I don't have Punk winning is because he has that favor with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Now, in a perfect world, if I was Triple H and I'm booking this, I'm making that a triple threat match at Mania. I'm having Cena win, and then I'm going to have Cena and Cody feud a little bit, and then Punk comes out, and he did what Cena did. Cena's brought himself in that chamber match. Punk's going to use that favor. I don't know how they're going to do it. That's the only thing I don't know how is Paul Heyman going to solidify Punk on getting that main event spot? Because that's the whole plan.
Yeah.
Punk's whole thing is I need a main event WrestleMania. Now, if it's a triple threat match, if it's Punk versus Cena versus Cody, I would rather have Punk win it. I think it would be really cool if Punk won.
Yeah.
And then if you have a perfect feud because Cena announced that that we haven't seen him that much is because he's been reshooting.
Yeah.
And in middle of March, he's going to have full time into focusing on WWE, which I love. I'm happy that he's finally doing that because we've only seen him on TV twice.
Twice this year.
Yeah. So, but I'm very excited for that. But if I had to put money on it, I'm saying Cena wins the chamber. Final two is going to be Cena and Punk. Cena versus Punk. I think that's a great final two in that chamber because they're going to stop, look around, the crowd's going to go nuts.
I like what you're saying, but I don't think Triple H is going to pull the trigger on that. I wouldn't want to pull the trigger because I think Punk has unfinished business with Rollins and Roman. So I don't know who who CM Punk can actually face at WrestleMania. Like a triple threat match is like you just putting. I love Punk, but it's like you're just adding too much into the situation because you already have Punk, you already have Cena and Rhodes. It builds itself. So if you just add Punk in there, it's just like you're just adding too much. And I just feel like Punk could do something else. And to be honest, have him just main event WrestleMania next year. Punk is gonna be here for like 3 more years. He's good.
Yeah, I just feel that you could also substitute and not worry so much about that Rollins Punk feud. Because who knows? What if, say, Punk, that triple threat match I said happens, right? Punk wins, and what if Cena doesn't come back right away? You never know. Like Cena might take a couple weeks off.
Of course.
Have him feud with Rollins. Punk versus Rollins for the belt. Or Roman Reigns wants that belt, right?
That's why I said the way I was booking it is, in my head is that Cena should lose against Cody in that main event. And then people get, and then you get, because remember they're pinning the layer back on Rhodes. Like he's showing heel tendencies right now, especially you've seen it with Kevin Owens. And I think if he beats Cena, people would just will boo Cody even more when he beats Cena, and then SummerSlam comes around, Cena, because Cena, I think they want to build the chase more, because if Cena just automatically gets a title shot, he wins.
I do agree with that.
The story is better when Cena is chasing the title. And since he's going to be gone, that's why you don't have him win the WrestleMania, because I don't think he's going to be there. I think probably after SummerSlam, we're probably going to see more full-time Cena, because it's towards the end of his tenure in WWE. Of course, he's going to start ramping up the dates towards after SummerSlam. So I think I'll have him win SummerSlam against Cody as well. And then we don't see Cody again for a while. Last match with Cena, Cody beats Cena, and officially it's solidifying the heel turn for Cody.
Yeah.
And then you could do Punk and Cody at next year's WrestleMania.
I like that. I do like that. There's so many things they need to add in this. Like, when are we going to get Cena versus Orton?
You can do that anytime, to be honest.
But that I feel like
you want a feud or a match.
I want a feud. I don't want a match.
So who's going to be the heel?
Orton.
But people love Orton. That's why.
But you could change just like that.
But I understand that. But people wanted Randy to turn against Cody. But it's like, it's not going to hit the same. It's not going. People love Randy. They're singing his goddamn theme song.
No, I agree.
On a night-to-night basis, and I'm just like, it's not going to hit the same. Like, even me, heel Randy Orton doesn't hit the same for me anymore. You have to wait, especially Randy Orton. He's not there on a consistent basis anymore, because you always taking time off. And it's like, when he comes back, you're going to get a huge pop what he does to Kevin Owens. So it doesn't make any sense for Randy to be a heel, because people still love him. You have to wait. You have to take off that luster. And Randy Orton, he's a legend.
Yeah, but I feel like in that time, you can take off that luster. Like, if Orton did something so perfect example, when Edge came back,
it didn't work.
But Orton was still a good heel.
Oh, are you talking about? I thought you were talking about Edge, but you talking about Randy.
No, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When Edge,
it did work,
because he out of nowhere just RKO'd his best friend.
Yeah.
Now, if you can have Orton take that punt out, and he punts Cena.
No, but you gotta think what Randy was doing before that. Randy Orton wasn't really doing anything during that time, and people were just like, "Oh, it's Randy."
Yeah, but after this Kevin Owens feud, what's the next step? And I feel like Orton getting back in that championship picture, that window, and solidifying stuff. How am I going to get in that window? What's the best version of I could be to get back in that championship window? I turn heel. Triple H, the best thing he's at is heel work and superstars as a creator. And I think he's going to elevate that way. All right, I know that Orton is very over with the fans right now.
Yeah.
How do we make that switch? If he does something like he's a legend killer, hell, bring back a legend. Bring back someone that they're honoring.
Hulk Hogan?
No, because everyone would go nuts if he punted Hulk Hogan. Yeah! Get someone that everyone loves. But you could even use that with Cena. Everyone loves John Cena. And if Orton just out of nowhere RKO'd Cena and like, not just an RKO leave, like an RKO and like destroy him, like similar to what Seth did to Roman and Punk at the Rumble, where Rollins was going off and curb stomping Roman. Do that same thing with Orton on making it known, like, I'm here, I'm the legend killer, he's back. I feel like you can do that. They have a lot of time. Finish the Kevin Owens feud.
Yeah, of course.
Because that needed to happen. Hey. Finish the Kevin Owens feud. And they're going to figure out a way, because that SummerSlam, it should be Orton versus Cena.
You think so?
I feel like that's the perfect spot, because Cody.
I think Orton should be a match. It should be like an honoring of passing of the torch or end of an era, like the way it was Undertaker and Triple H. Just do that feud, one match. Should be John Cena's last match. Randy Orton, John Cena, last match. Ruthless Aggression. Boom. End of an era, because literally they're the only people left from that Ruthless Aggression era. It literally left, because Brock, I don't think Brock is ever coming back. And that should be the end of an era. And then Orton should put Cena over.
I get it. I just think that it would mean more if it's heel Orton versus face Cena than face versus face. Just because on their history.
Of course, yeah.
It's the best rivalry I have ever seen, personally. I've never seen a better rivalry than these two. And they've done it. You could argue. It's just how I feel. It's the best rivalry.
I'm a Cena guy too, but I don't think it's not the best rivalry ever. ever seen.
Yeah, who's the best rivalry ever?
With Cena?
Or like with anyone. I think since I've watched WWE, when I started watching WWE in like '08,
yeah.
and watching, them two just have been going at it for decades.
Of course, but it lost its luster when they kept just giving them match after match after.
Okay, but it could build back up because it's been so long.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That people want that match. Even me, I
Yes.
want that match for one last time. Even me, I want Cena and Punk one last time.
Yes.
But the problem is with all these legends, Punk and Randy, they're too liked, and it's like, and Cena's last run is like he's not gonna turn heel.
I don't think Punk will turn heel.
You just gonna do a match?
I think that could be more of a match versus match, good versus good.
Mhm.
I feel like that works more than good versus good, but Cena and Orton, just because Punk's stock is higher than Orton's right now.
Yeah.
Especially even as a face, even though I know Punk is better as a heel than he is a face. Like we could all admit that.
Yeah, yeah.
We just love the fans just love CM
him.
Punk.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I feel that those two guys could go face to face, be face versus face. But Orton and Cena is something where it would be better if it's face versus heel.
Of course.
Because you could do an extreme match too.
Mhm.
Like they've done great matches, Cena and Orton, where there's a lot of props.
Extreme match. Cena's not doing
All right, let's shift back to the chamber. So you think Cena's winning?
Yeah.
I think Cena's winning.
Mhm.
How is it going to affect everyone else
in the chamber?
In the chamber, after the chamber, who's going to be feuding with who?
I think Priest and Drew's probably going to feud after this, but I don't want it because I thought if you saw what Drew was building up to, I thought he was going to face Roman. Because
I agree.
Because you saw him taking out all the bloodline members as like, why aren't you building towards this? I'm like, and Drew deserves this. I'm like, I like Priest, but I don't like the way they're force feeding him into people's mouths.
Yeah,
it's like Damian Priest. I understand you want to build him as one of your top faces, but it's like that's not how you build somebody. Priest had a great title reign towards me. I liked this character during his title reign.
I agree.
I liked it, but I just feel like he wins too damn much now. It's like you giving him that Roman.
You're pushing him too much. Yeah, that Roman Reigns
treatment, and it's like this is gonna backfire on them. And I think Triple H eventually people are gonna start booing Damian Priest if Triple H doesn't change the way he books Damian Priest. And it's like Priest and Drew is like, yeah, but it's at the end of the day, Drew deserves better. I like Priest, but Drew deserves better. I don't know what Logan Paul gets out of this chamber. Probably, if I would have said if Cena wasn't gonna win, it probably would have been Cena. But you say you don't like it, but that would be the best of both worlds. But I thought it would have been Styles, but I think Styles is looking towards Braun Breaker. But honestly, I don't.
Does that match happen before Mania or no?
Breaker and Styles? I don't know
because they haven't been putting IC title matches on cards
on the Elimination Chamber,
which card? I'm not in. Which they just don't do, which I think is stupid.
Yeah,
but you could save it. I have no clue what they're gonna do. I'm a guy that you kind of tell because I love the Punk. I would want Punk, Cody, Cena. I like triple threat matches. I think Triple H has been doing a great job with this. Like, perfect example, that Fatu versus Strowman versus Priest to qualify. That was a fantastic match.
Of course.
Because they were the chemistry was great.
Of course, but they ruined it by having Priest win.
I agree. I think it should have been Fatu.
Fatu should have won that match.
I feel like there's not enough heels
in that chamber
match. Yeah. You could 100% substituted Fatu, like swap Fatu and Priest easily.
Yeah,
just off of Fatu. I think is a better wrestler.
Yeah,
Fatu I feel like is a better
on the mic.
He's better heel than Priest's face. So I thought it was kind of a little shocking because they want. I thought, all right, let's have them push Fatu, but I guess they'll just wait.
I knew they were going to do it. You knew they were going to put Priest in.
Yeah, I knew Priest. I was shocked that that Triple H hasn't pulled that trigger, but he takes so long to do that all the time.
Yeah.
And he waits. But I feel whoever eliminates Priest, I think that you could just throw Priest in the United States Chamber.
Of course, yeah.
Or the United States Championship match easily. Yeah. Because if what I said, right, of Punk going in that triple threat, why don't you do Drew versus Rollins versus Reigns? Why don't you do that? I feel like there's more storyline with Dumb 3.
You just want triple threats everywhere.
I know, but if everyone is saying, oh, it's going to be Punk versus Seth versus Roman, why can't you just substitute Punk with Drew? Drew has way more storyline than Punk does, if you think about it.
And that's why Triple H, I don't like him mixing up these storylines, because it should be Seth, Punk, Drew, Roman. Make those matches, build those up. Drew is the bloodline hunter right now. He needs, before they dropped it, he was the bloodline hunter before Royal Rumble.
Yes.
He kept on pushing it. He beats Sammy, Jay, Jimmy. He beats all three of them until Roman comes in to step up. And then you build that match towards WrestleMania. And then Punk and Rollins should get a win against Punk before the year is over. And I thought that place should have been at WrestleMania, because Punk beat him on Netflix, which should have happened. And then Seth beats Punk, and then they go their separate ways after that. And then Punk moves his attention towards the title, if you want him to, or somebody else, if you want it. That's why I said WrestleMania should be like, he's like muddying the waters on these feuds for no reason. And it's just like, yeah, you try to give these people this triple threat idea. Like, no, just make it. Sometimes simple is better. Simple is always better.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. I was just looking it off of how everyone wants that triple threat to be with Punk. And I think you could easily throw in Drew. And I think it would be better if it was with Drew. Just off of, I don't, like, besides Paul Heyman, Punk has no story with Roman.
The problem is triple threats don't work ever in WWE unless there's a title in it. It doesn't work if it's just a feud. You need to have the title in there. If you don't have the title, it doesn't work. Because name one triple threat match ever in the history with no title that worked.
Like, you worked off of, it was good?
Good. It was good.
The Priest Fatu Strowman match.
That was a qualifier match.
But you could definitely make that into the winner of that gets the next title opportunity at whatever the next pay-per-view is, and have it mean something. Because I do agree
it needs to mean
that
something.
Matches need to mean something. But what the winner of Roman and Rollins and whoever, what does the winner do?
Which one? Of Roman and Rollins?
Whatever it is. If it's Roman, if it's going to be Roman, Rollins, and Punk, do you think that's going to happen?
Because they're on Raw. So it's like the winner gets a title shot next. So whoever wins that match probably going to take on Jay, because Jay is winning that title against Gunther. So it's just like, and who wins that match? Punk? Punk versus Jay?
I know, but that's why I'm saying that shouldn't be the direction. You could do, if you throw Drew in instead of Punk, it looks so. I would love Drew versus Jay. I would love Roman versus Jay.
Drew's on SmackDown. So that's why I said Drew versus Roman. Drew beats Roman at WrestleMania. And that catapults him to a feud against Cody after WrestleMania. Or Cena, whoever wins the title. Whoever wins it catapults, because they need a good heel to establish.
I know Drew should definitely be the one getting the next opportunity of whoever wins between Cody and Cena. Definitely. That's definitely going to happen. What do you think's happening with Logan Paul?
I don't know. I thought it was AJ Styles. Then I thought it was if they don't let Cena win, it should be Cena. But I thought it was AJ Styles, but like they're going the Braun Breaker route. I don't know who Logan Paul faces, because he's on Raw. I don't know who he faces.
Yeah, it's tough. I hope they do a ladder match for a belt at Mania for either the IC or the United States.
The IC you could build for United States, yes, because there's so many people and you haven't built a good storyline around everybody. But I think the ladder match is going to be more for the tag team titles more. But for an IC title, it needs to be a good story for Braun Breaker. It should be either AJ or Sheamus. So it just should be either one.
Yes, I agree. I think Sheamus, the trigger needs to happen. You could have him lose it whenever. You could have him lose it the next day to Braun Breaker. I wouldn't care.
But Sheamus needs to win the IC title. The story is there.
Yeah, he needs to be a Grand Slam champion. If Sheamus wins, he will be the Grand Slam champion, which is having every belt in the company. You want to focus on? We could steer towards the women's.
Of course.
Who do you like in that women's match?
Who I like favorite to win is, I like Liv Morgan to win that match, because I feel like what they're pivoting is to, you like triple threats. I think they're pivoting towards the women's triple threat match with Io, and I don't like what they're even. You should just had Io in the Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah, I agree. Io Sky should have been in that, but she's fighting Rhea
the
Ripley.
night after, the 2 days after, in the Raw after Elimination Chamber, and I think Liv Morgan is the person that's going to win that chamber, and then disrupt that main event with Rhea and Io, and that's going to trigger into a triple threat match with Io, Liv, Rhea, because all three of those people always have
triple threat match. Oh,
yeah. That's the story has to be there. And also the problem is Io is a face, Rhea is a face. I'm sorry, I love Io, but she can't speak a lick.
But she's such a good wrestler.
But what story are you building to WrestleMania to keep people?
I guess,
to it?
But I mean,
that's why you have to add Liv into it. But you can't do Liv and Rhea by itself because people are going to be tired of it. I've seen it already. So add Io into that match to do as a buffer for people, and then because Io and Liv work well together. Io and Rhea is obviously, and Rhea and Liv work together. It's just people are just tired of seeing it months and months of seeing the same thing. That's why adding Io would like buffer the feud.
Yeah, you could even have Io win. Honestly,
nah, Rhea just won the title. Rhea's gonna win. I think Rhea gets a Money in the Bank cash in that later down the line against somebody.
You think? What if because Money in the Bank
is in July.
That's going to be good. Hopefully, I feel like. What do you think the LA Knight story is going to be? Like, where's he going? Does he win the the United States Championship at Mania?
I don't know. I think they could probably do a multi-man match because there's no story for around the United Championship, and like they made Shinsuke nobody cares anymore about Shinsuke or stuff like that again. So it's just like I think it's time, and I think LA Knight, you could have done LA Knight and Drew McIntyre if you really wanted to, but I just think I don't know. LA probably just in the United States Championship picture, and then probably when there's a heel world champion, he could probably put his hat in there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel that LA Knight needs to get this push started. Like he already had a push, but like a push on. All right, this guy is a top wrestler, and he's a above average wrestler. I'll grade him as like a B, like in ring ability, and he's a phenomenal promo guy. He's like one of the biggest faces in the company right now. And Triple H just proved to us that he's willing to pull the trigger on the hot talent like Jey Uso. I don't want the LA Knight train to slowly fade away.
I think when it slowly fades away, I think that's when you turn. He's both. He's a great heel also as well.
Yeah.
And I think when it's like people stop saying yeah or like stop going towards like his like shtick, his babyface shtick, I think that's where you could probably see him turn heel and probably like reinvent himself. So yeah, LA Knight, he's a curious case because I thought Triple H should have pulled the trigger a long time ago with him. But the problem is that Roman was the only champion at that point. And you had LA Knight, and yeah, you should have pulled the trigger on him like probably earlier on, with him like probably winning the United States Championship, probably. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah. I love saying that. I'm very excited for what Triple H is doing. He's definitely putting me on the edge of my seat because it's not as predictable as it was 4 or 5 months ago. It was so predictable. Every freaking Raw and SmackDown ended with a tag team, or it was the Bloodline story. I don't know what they're going to do with Solo, you know?
Bro, come on. It's Solo and Jacob. I hate you, Solo. Like, everybody's waiting for that.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't be shocked if that's the Mania match. Solo versus Fatu.
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is that Solo needs to be the heel and Jacob needs to be because people do not like Solo as a face. They're not going to like it. And I think it's time for them to turn Jacob Fatu into a face because people love Fatu. And I think it probably have Tama Tonga turn against
I think
Jacob.
He slowly is turning into a face already.
Jacob.
Yes. Off of just like, again, a face doesn't need to be like a goody two shoes.
Of course, yeah. He's
going to be a badass face where where people really enjoy the energy of Fatu, of similar to like kind of Ryback. I'm talking off of
talking about like the feed me
I'm talking more of like a guy who doesn't like isn't a goody two shoes, but people were enjoying.
He's a ass kicker. He has the tenacity. He has the ferocity.
But that's like Fatu. That's what I think. Obviously, he's not like Ryback. Ryback's a horrible wrestler. But
no, I want to say Ryback. He reminds me more of about. I'm trying to think about a person who people liked. He reminds me more of like probably like Braun Strowman earlier in his days when he was beating up Roman and people were cheering for him and people actually wanted him.
Well, Strowman was given it. Yeah, Samoa Joe is a good one too. But that's even like Braun Breaker slowly at some point was. Braun Breaker was like,
but they killed it. But they should have.
Oh, they killed it. I agree, but it was there for a bit. Like, we got any dogs barking?
They
like,
shouldn't have done that because you got to save that when he's turning face.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know why they did that because it's like he was a really great heel. I thought he was a really great heel, and I thought when you say where are my dogs at, don't do that. Now you're asking for the fan participation. You need to be a heel.
I feel like they just wanted to test the waters on. All right, does this guy really have heat? Like, does this guy really have connections with the fans?
Can the fans get behind him?
Yeah, and they do. They do.
Yeah,
they do because he's a fantastic wrestler, and I'm excited for the AJ Styles feud because we don't know how long Styles is going to be here either. You know, Styles, I don't think has more than 2 years in the tank.
Yeah,
I feel like he knows that. He just came back from a massive injury. But all right, let's take a little segue. So AEW released 2 weeks ago. They released 3 talents. 2 are former WWE talents. They released Aleister Black, Rusev, who used to be in the WWE as well with Aleister Black, and Ricky Starks, who's really young and really just good on the mic. He's just really good. So then the next day on NXT, Ricky Starks shows up.
Yep.
Didn't say I'm Ricky Starks. Everyone just knew it was Ricky Starks. They didn't play the theme song. And WWE is so good at finding that talent.
Of course.
And taking advantage right away. It didn't last. I don't think I swear to God, I bet you when they probably heard from connections of someone like, hey, AEW, Tony's thinking about cutting Ricky Starks. It's going to happen today. All right, right when it gets the news happens, let's call him. Or they probably called him right when they were hearing about it. Hey, are you getting cut? Yeah, that's going to happen.
Probably didn't have no
come with us.
90-day compete clause.
He's going to get that Ethan Page treatment.
Of course.
And they already feuding.
Yep.
Ethan Page already said, which Ethan Page is great at. He was saying, "Oh, you're doing everything. You're taking the Ethan Page route or something like that." And it's true because he was basically saying you're taking the AEW route, but he said AEW Ethan Page, which I loved. That's a great feud that could start. I bet you this guy's going to get the title in a couple months.
Of course.
Him and Obi Femi. You saw Moose. Moose. Oh, it's Moose with the TNA and WWE merger. They are bringing in wrestlers from different companies from each other, like the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys are coming back. Nick Nemeth, who's on there, is Dolph Ziggler. We're hopefully going to get him soon. Yep. I don't know if Dolph Ziggler would want to honestly do that.
Jordynne Grace jumped ship.
Jordynne Grace did. She's great. Jordynne Grace is really good. I'm excited for this merger's already, it's already started. Like Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
I was losing it when Joe Hendry came out.
He had a great pop.
He had a fantastic pop. I wish we got one more. Like a Jeff Hardy.
At the Rumble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been a fantastic pop too. Because it's just, they could have. I wish that the TNA stuff was happening a little bit on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, but the problem is like I don't think Raw wants to disrupt the main. I think WWE doesn't want to disrupt anything on the main roster side of things. NXT is like more of like the developmental, and I like what they're doing because they're sending some NXT talent over to TNA to get some experience. They even sent some wrestlers to like Japan, Mexico, all these indie places just to get them reps and like just to learn other styles from other places, and that's what you need as to develop yourself as a wrestler. So I feel like the TNA is good right where it is. Like depending on like who you have, like the Hardy Boys is good for, like to
That's what I really mean. I mean like a Zack Ryder or one of the Hardy Boys, Matt Cardona. Like one of those, like one of them just coming back because the pop would be better.
Yeah,
that's all I care about
on the main roster.
And here's the thing: you could really take advantage of having the Hardy Boys in it because the tag team divisions have slowly gone down with faces. There's a lot more heels than faces right now in the tag team division.
Of course.
So
what you saying? The Hardy should come over from TNA and just work.
Just jump in there. Like if they like similar when they returned at Mania.
But they're contracted with TNA, same thing. Though, so are you gonna have them work both shows all the time?
No, but you could have at Mania if you're doing a similar scenario with tag team matches. just throw them in there. I didn't say have them win. They won last time.
Yeah, but nah.
It's just that pop, because I feel like that it's the problem with the tag team division is there's nothing that's making me, oh my gosh, I have to go watch this match. Oh my gosh, I have to go.
That's for me, it's more on the Raw side of things. SmackDown, they're creating great stories with the tag team, like the Street Profits. With them right now, they're turning heel. That's great for them. The Motor City Machine Guns, it gives them more of a wrestling based and more talent on the tag team side of things. DIY turning heel, great. Pretty Deadly. Los Garzas. I care about Los Garzas more now than ever than I ever have before.
I agree with that, but I need a face that's not the Motorhead Machine Guns or Motor City Machine Guns. I need someone like another tag team that has face. There's too many tag teams with heels. It's like on Raw.
Yeah, you can call up. You can call up some tag teams from NXT if you want. Fraxium is about that time, like where they need to get called up now. Like there's plenty of people in NXT that need to be called up, and I think that's gonna happen towards after WrestleMania season. So Fraxium could get called up to basically SmackDown, and he could be a face team on there.
Because even Raw, it's Finn Balor, and we don't even know who's with Finn. Because
I wouldn't call him a tag team anymore.
JD's gone for a minute.
Yeah, you have
the Viking Raiders, who are
the New Day.
Oh my God, I love the New Day. Yeah. Oh my God, Triple H needs to pull that trigger.
Yeah.
If there was any trigger that he needs to pull with anyone that needs to start getting that push in time, I would 100% say it needs to be the New Day. Because they are, besides Dom and Logan, or you could argue
they have the most
heat.
Yeah.
They're ridiculous. They're so great at being heels. And I think it's all right, whatever. They're going to feud with LWO and Rey Mysterio. But man,
they need to pull the trigger. And I think that's probably going to happen during WrestleMania.
And I feel like the Viking Raiders aren't a good enough heel.
They're faces, actually.
Or no, I meant like a good enough, like they're not Kingston's, like Kofi Kingston and Woods. It's not a good enough heel beating a face.
Yeah.
Because that face, they're not a face where I'm like, oh my gosh, like they did that. They beat this team I love. I love the Viking Raiders. They're great wrestlers.
Yeah.
But they're not an overwhelming face.
The problem is that too, Triple H is not putting them on TV on consistent basis. And it's like the most we get is vignettes. But I'm like, and there's no like tag team like feud for them to sink their teeth into. And it's like, who are they working with? It's like you have Theory and Waller. Is like when they're gonna pull the trigger on that heel turn, probably, or the turning of whoever turns either or.
Yeah, Theory has to turn face if anyone's turning face.
Yeah,
it's gonna have to be Austin Theory, but because they're on Raw now.
Yep.
But I just don't. There's just not enough faces in the tag team division right now.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Especially you just turned DIY, you just turned the Street Profits at the heels, so it's like we need a face. And it's not going to be like I need a face on Raw for the New Day to beat. That's not the Viking Raiders. Like, I guess what they might do is have, if they get a tag team opportunity, they're going to have.
I can't even think about any faces on Raw, to be honest.
I know. Even
because the Creed brothers are heels.
I was about to say the Creed brothers, who I love. They're great.
Yeah, they're great talents, but they're not being properly used.
No, just like Chad Gable. Yeah. Which who knows? Chad Gable's taking his little break. I don't know what the hell that even
means.
To
learn the dark arts of luchador.
I don't know what he's doing.
People have been saying that's Malachi Black. Well, I'm like, please no, don't do that.
What do you think? So, is Rusev or Aleister Black going to come back?
Aleister Black, yes. Rusev, well, I know him as Miro because I watch AEW, but Miro, I wouldn't bring him back if Lana's not with him.
Why?
Lana was the part of the package with him, and remember when Rusev was most over, Lana was there.
Yes, he was a great heel,
and even when he was doing the Rusev Day stuff, Lana was there. And English was the one that was getting him over.
Yeah, but they could definitely bring Lana back.
That's depending on how Lana feels with Rusev around. Since I don't want to get personal, but they got a divorce. So
yeah. So actually, no, that's probably not gonna happen.
I don't think so.
Depends how much money they pay him.
But it's like Miro's just gonna be another one of the guys. To be honest, Aleister Black probably.
But why can't you just get another female?
It's not gonna feel the same. You know that.
I guess.
WWE fans are nostalgic, and also
no, I agree.
And it's like the problem is that it's not gonna feel the same. It's not gonna hit the same. And the problem is, I think Miro should just probably go to TNA. Probably that would be his best bet, doing his like shtick as the Redeemer when he was AEW because everybody you haven't watched AEW, right?
No, I don't really pay attention to that crap.
Miro, he had this gimmick that he was the Redeemer. He will say, quote, like Bible scriptures and stuff like that, saying he's the Redeemer, feature, whatever,
behind
and stuff like that. And he had a pretty great run when he was first there. He was the mid card champion. He had a dominant run, but after that they didn't really know what to do with him. They brought his wife in. They didn't know what to do with that and stuff like that. So I don't think he's gonna get that kind of treatment in WWE. I don't think Triple H use him the right way. So I think his best bet will probably go to TNA, probably.
Yeah, the reason why I don't think that he needs Lana is because it's been so long where he's definitely developed that character where he could cut his own promo.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel that Triple H is going to kind of know. Like Triple H is so good with heels. It's the best thing he's at.
Of course, but to be honest, I'm like, you should only sign people that can shake the room and also like just turn the business upside down. Ricky Starks is one of those guys.
Yes.
In NXT. Aleister Black is one of those guys because we never seen a person like Aleister Black in WWE, that gimmick. And Aleister Black, he can actually be used the right way. You can put him in the mid card. You can put that. I think
I don't think you put him at the main event.
Depending on who you have.
No way.
Depending on who you have him with.
I don't think at all you could. I don't think Aleister Black's never,
You ever watch Black and Gold, Aleister Black, dude?
I know. I watched Aleister Black all on WWE when he was there. But I'm not saying that he can't, but the roster, I've never seen WWE this deep in my life on the roster.
Yeah.
There's no way right now that you could throw Aleister Black in the main event. I feel like there's just so many people in that pot where it won't happen. Down the line, of course.
Yeah, but also that too, I think he'll be a better version of what Andrade's.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, we only have a few minutes left. If you could pick one person that's in any other company to come here right now.
Right now?
Yeah, who would it be?
MJF.
Yeah.
That'll always be my pick. I always tell people when MJF leaves AEW, I'm going to stop watching that show. I'm going to stop because it's like AEW is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Week to week basis of booking television, terrible. No storylines. Their matches make no sense. People confuse whoever the heel and the face is on a week. They're good at putting on a good pay-per-view and stuff like that, and putting on good matches, but it's like the story behind it is like the problem is with AEW is no connection to any storylines. Like you can tell like what people care about and what people don't care about. And WWE, I give WWE this is that they sell emotion. They make you care about their character stuff like that. And MJF, he's despicable and he would be great to be honest. And that would probably be like one person.
If I agree with you that I would love MJF, obviously, but if I wasn't saying MJF, I would have Samoa Joe come back.
Yeah,
I think he would be fantastic on Raw.
He'd be fantastic.
Oh my god!
But I think that train has sailed because MJF, if he jumps over, you have MJF for another 10, 15 years.
Yeah, Samoa Joe only like 4.
Yeah. And it's like
but I feel like Triple H could do such a good job with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, but
not saying he wouldn't with MJF. He'd do a phenomenal job with MJF. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who would get pushed quicker just because Samoa Joe has that WWE aura, but MJF could get that Cody Rhodes somewhat treatment of being that like he's bigger than anyone that's honestly. You could argue that MJF is bigger than Cody Rhodes at one point in like
popularity.
Yeah. And that's why they could take advantage of someone like that. If MJF comes, a whole plan switch on everything.
No, but I don't think MJF is going to be as more popular when he comes like jumping ship the way Cody did compared to MJF. No, in WWE terms of things, no. And AEW was popular because the fans were against Cody's babyface shtick.
I bet you 85 to 90% of wrestling fans know MJF.
Of course.
And they all want MJF here. It's not like,
Unless you're an AEW fan, he's like,
Well,
no.
yeah, but like I'm talking about a WWE fan. If
Yeah,
you
that watches all the products.
you want everyone's if MJF, if Triple H tweeted out someone new is coming to this company. I bet you there's gonna get so many views on Raw.
Of course.
And then that MJF social media would destroy. WWE social media will destroy numbers.
But the problem is different because Cody is like, you never thought Cody was going to come here because he literally built AEW. And it's like him jumping ship is just wow. And it's like also the storyline they built, the return of the prodigal son returns back home. He wants to win the world title.
He has more aura.
Than MGF, but MGF, people were just like, he's going to eventually jump ship, especially MGF. If you watch AEW, before he stopped the
shit. You think Dean Ambrose would ever come back? No.
Probably for a Hall of Fame induction at Shield, probably.
Yeah,
but I don't think he ever comes back because his style of wrestling doesn't fit WWE.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like MJF would definitely.
Oh no, he's going. I'm like,
doesn't he have AEW tatted on him?
Yeah, but I'm
he's got to remove that.
But he covers it.
Yeah.
But
that'd be sick. Imagine a promo he like shows it's gone.
Of course, MJF. I think. I knew he wasn't going to leave, because his contract was up in 2024. I knew he wasn't going to leave because I feel like he's going to sign for the big payday, and I think because he signed a 5-year contract, I think, and then I think
something's going to happen in those 5 years.
Probably.
There's no way AEW is a company in 5 years.
It's still going to be there because Tony Khan has money. It's going to be there. It's not going to.
Dude, how much?
It's probably not going to be as big as it is. TNA has been around forever.
Yeah.
So it's like it just goes through ebbs and flows. It's still going to be there as long as somebody's there to finance it. It's just that is it going to be as big in popularity as people think?
No, I agree. All right, anything else, or you think we're chilling for now?
Would you want to talk about the matches so far? Tiffy time.
Yeah, let's do what we'll do. How we feel about Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte Flair won the Rumble.
Yeah.
You like that she won the Rumble or no? There's a lot of people that don't like it, and I'll tell you my opinion after yours.
I think the long term scheme of things is that she should have won because look, Charlotte Flair. She just
James in the back does not like Charlotte Flair winning.
I like Charlotte Flair. I just think he doesn't like her because she wins too goddamn much. Even me, I don't like
right? It. James, was that why? Yeah, she wins too much. Yeah.
Nothing else.
James.
Anything else is nothing.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, James stated that it's she's always in the title scene.
Well, but it's like you can say that about John Cena, Triple
H. Yeah, but that's how you build those
Edge,
superstars.
Randy Orton, I'm like those guys are always in the title scene. I'm like, you guys don't.
Flair doesn't push anyone like she doesn't push anyone over.
Puts anyone over?
Yeah, like not really.
Besides she put
Rhea, but all right, but she defeated Rhea once.
But that's the problem with Vince. Is like you had her win so much, and it's like you try to build her up as this like end all be all. But it's like at the end of the day, it's Charlotte Flair. Like she's the best in ring. Like nobody.
I agree.
Nobody beats her in ring. Nobody.
I agree.
Like her aura, it sells itself, and also she's a Flair.
I think that Charlotte Flair is the best women's wrestler.
My problem is with this whole run is that they try to book, you heard in the beginning, they try to book her as a babyface.
Yeah,
like, that
crap wasn't going to work.
Even the vignettes in her private jet, her private yacht. I'm like, and she came back with a babyface promo. I'm like, what?
No, I knew it wasn't
going to work. Doing?
I knew it wasn't going to work.
And like, okay, now she's a heel. Okay. And now Tiffany Stratton is as a face.
I think they just wanted to test the waters.
I understand that, but you should read the room.
No, I agree. You're not wrong. But Triple H is like, all right, maybe
they might like
people want her back. No. Well, I don't know. He didn't think with the Hulk Hogan thing that everyone was gonna be like, whoa, Hulk Hogan. And it was 85% booze for Hulk Hogan. Now, I think that the Stratton versus Flair, fantastic. I'm very excited for that.
I'm excited for that match.
And I honestly thought, you know what? I'm kind of fine with her winning the Rumble. Just off of it doesn't. You could push someone nowadays and not depend off of a Royal Rumble win.
Okay, but I have a question. Who should have won the Rumble then if it wasn't Charlotte?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think Charlotte should have won. Unless you could argue Liv Morgan.
No, because then it's going to be like, she's going to do Rhea or Tiffany.
So then who would it be? Who would you pick?
Charlotte should have won.
So there you go.
If some people said Io should have won that match, I'm like, no, because Io cannot build to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she's not good on the mic.
I think if
She
there's
can't build it.
anyone,
She's gonna be just walking around, just like, I'm gonna pick you. I'm gonna pick you. I'm gonna pick you. I'm like, I'm sorry. The way they're doing with on the Raw side of things with Io, like having her and live in Rhea situation, that's the way you should have booked it.
yeah, no, I think that they did the right thing
They
because
did the right
Charlotte
thing.
Flair is a women's wrestler that could carry out a feud till
Yes.
Mania.
Yes.
That's why Jey Uso could do the same thing. Jey Uso, it needs way more build up. Jey Uso.
I think the problem with the Jey Uso one is that we knew he was going to choose Gunther because Jey and Cody.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing I didn't
The problem
like.
is we already seen Jey and Gunther at Saturday Night's main event. You shouldn't have done that match then, because now
I agree.
Because now people's like, we've seen this match already. It's like, what are you guys gonna do now that's gonna like do all this? And also the stuff they're doing this past couple weeks with Jey and Gunther brawling. Shouldn't you just do this after Chamber?
Yeah.
Because eventually this is gonna lose. What you're gonna do? Keep brawling for the next couple weeks?
Here's the thing, though.
For 2 months?
You know what they did? It wasn't 2 months. It was like a month and a half with the Priest versus Gunther feud. I wasn't excited for when it started. I was like, oh, this is not worth my time. Like, this is going to be trash. And they did such a great build up in like
3 weeks.
Now it was like 4 or 5 weeks. It was like, I don't think it was 3 weeks.
Because remember, Priest, Money in the Bank, and literally Money in the Bank was July 5th, and SummerSlam was like August 2nd and 3rd.
Okay. So
Priest was focused on Raw.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just think that it's going to be a similar ride on. Oh, I don't think this will be good, and then they're going to do great feuds.
I think it's going to be a good match. Because it has to be a good match. Gunther doesn't have bad matches, and I think there needs to be blood.
I need Jey to whip out a couple more moves, though, like a move that solidifies. Oh, I could do multiple things, because that's the biggest thing with Jey Uso that we could all admit.
People think it's
Jey Uso.
super kick fest.
He's a super kick merchant. Let's be honest, and the spear merchant. He can only do a couple things. I need him to do some different types of moves. But all right, I think that's good for now. So we'll be back here next week, Thursday at 2:00, correct? 2:00, we'll be here live here at Iona. I'm Steven Mazza alongside CJ Cherno. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.